everybody, it's your girl Pam with 2200 Taps. Hey, so we're doing this little segment that's been kind of fun. I had to kind of purge my emotions, if you will. I quit a job an hour before I was supposed to report in for literally the first day. Just wasn't feeling it, and I put a filler out. I'm like, dude, have any of y'all worked in a job where you absolutely hated it, you wanted to quit, or what have you? And this next guest reached out. He's like, yo, I've got a story. And by the way, can I curse? Because it's going to make it way better. So I want to introduce to you guys my next guest. His name is Karl Amerson. Yeah. What's up, dude?
How's it going?
Good. Are you smoking your cigar backwards? Oh, you just didn't. Just looked funny.
No.
I'm
not that badass. I smoked it lit in first. That's what they teach you in the Marine Corps.
I was gonna say you're a Marine, so who knows what the hell you're doing over there?
Yeah, I'm doing it all ass backwards. Eventually, I'll get it right. But
well, for those that can't see him, we are gonna put this video on YouTube, our YouTube channel, 2200 Taps, so you'll be able to see what I just saw, so I don't sound like a dumbass. No, man, but thanks for reaching out and coming on. I appreciate you. I need stories like this because number one, I don't know what the hell you're about to share. Number two, the fact that you asked if you could curse, I'm like, oh God, where are you gonna take us? So,
yeah.
Real quick, if you could just kind of share with the listeners, you're a Marine, just how long you served, all that good stuff, and let's get right to it. Cool?
All right. So I did 7 years in the Marine Corps active duty. My primary MOS was 6072, which is ground support equipment. I deployed in the secondary MOS, which I think, if I remember correctly, was 8316, which was security forces. So I actually had to go T-80 infantry, then T-80 again in security forces, and I deployed. And I came back to my primary MOS. So I was mostly a pogue my entire Marine Corps career, except for a year, which is fine. Anyway, so.
well, real quick, what's your favorite color crayon? Everyone's got one.
Oh, shit. Lavender. Lavender is my favorite flavor.
Lavender.
Yeah, you got to get the actual special seasonal package of crayons. And so I think it's more along the lines of the fall season. It's a craft crayon, if you will.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And you want to explain to our listeners what the hell that even means? Those that don't understand what it means to eat crayons.
So there's this long-going joke in the Marine Corps that we're all so incredibly dumb that you can't even give us crayons to draw with because we'll just end up eating them. And so, because the Marine stands for muscles are required, intelligence not essential. So, so that's kind of the ongoing joke. Even civilians are starting to catch on now with this new job that I took, where my boss Neil, he one of the coworkers had a thing of crayons because she was going to give it to her son, who's 2 years old, and she had the crayons, and I was walking up, and Neil goes, "Hide the crayons!" And so I started going, "Give me the goddamn crayons!" I'm fucking hungry. So.
Oh my God. But lavender, that's a first. I've never heard that one. It's always usually purple or red. It's one of the two.
Yeah, people go with primary colors, man. Stop being so basic. So, a bunch of basic ass bitches with your colors.
Get some spice in
Branch out, damn. Yeah, right.
Oh, man. Well, what do you got, dude? Well, I want to hear the story. Right. What the hell are you talking about?
So, the job where I quit.
Oh, this is your story.
Yeah, this is my story.
Oh, this
is how I quit. This is the way that everybody wishes they quit. All right, so this is the worst job I ever had. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I became a mechanic, and I worked for Halliburton for quite a while. But then I was, laid off because the oil field went to shit. So I picked up anything I could as quickly as possible, and one of them was for a paving company. And I'm not going to name which company it was, but I worked there for 3 months. Now, there was a paving company before that. I only worked there for a month, but they were underpaying me like crazy, and they're all the way in Austin. I hate that city and all that stuff. So anyway, so I quit there, got hired on with this new paving company as their field mechanic. I had 3 bosses. I had a big boss. I had 2 bosses and the other 2 bosses that shared an office with desks that faced each other.
Oh, no.
Right. So you should assume that there wouldn't be any miscommunication or anything like that. So Out of all three of these bosses, they would all give me three different things that I had to do, but they were all top priority. And so it's like, I can't just,
Like,
suddenly they're done. Yeah, I can't genie wink this shit to where I'm in three different places at the same time. What the fuck? So I would just be like, I would just categorize it by whichever one I'm closest to.
mm,
Because it was paving company, they had crews all over San Antonio and stuff like that. So I just, all right, whichever one's closest to my house, I'm going there first, and then just work my way out and
mm.
drive home. So that went on for about 3 months. Um, all, After like a month and a half, after working oil field, I'm used to doing 18-hour days and getting as much overtime as I can.
Mm.
And so when I started with this paving company, I was trying to do that. And they're like, yeah, no, you need to dial it back a little bit. And so it's like, all right, well, fine. But about a month and a half in, they told me, you can't work any more than 40 hours a week.
What?
And I said, okay. And they're like, oh, you still have to be there at 6 a.m. for when the asphalt trucks take off to make sure they're all, good under DOT regulations.
Mm.
I said, okay, that's fine. But, if I'm there at 6 a.m., normal 8-hour working day, I'm out by 2. And that's if I don't take a lunch, which I normally didn't because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Like,
Right.
I'm not fucking 65. I'm not going to some early bird special shit. So
We're going to Furs.
yeah, we're going to go to the old country kitchen buffet. So, um, so 2 o'clock roll around, I just leave and go home, and I turn in my timesheet. And come 4 o'clock, I'm getting a call from one of my bosses. Hey, where are you? Like, I'm at home. Why? Well, I already worked 8 hours. Well, but we need you. I said, well, I already worked my 8 hours. You should have needed me like 3 hours ago before I got up. And then they said, all right, well, we need you to come back. And I said, okay, well, you're paying for the overtime. I said, yeah, it's fine, whatever. I said, okay. So then I go turn in my timesheet again, and then they wouldn't pay me the overtime.
What?
Yeah. So now that we're starting to get into federal offenses of like, wage withholding.
Mm.
And so that went on I kept fighting with them constantly. So I wouldn't turn in my timesheet except for like at the very end of the day or the next morning because they kept trying to pull this with me, where they would take my second timesheet for the overtime and get rid of it. Yeah.
Yo. Was this in
Yeah.
San Antonio, you said?
Uh-huh.
Come on, Texas. I love this state, but Texas is just not
Yeah.
impressing me with this crap.
Nah. So, well, it's an at-will state, so they kind of just do whatever the fuck they want anyway.
Which,
So,
yeah, that's my point. It sucks, man.
yeah. So,
I gotta tell you
that
why I
goes
fired
on.
you.
Yeah, right. Um,
Stupid.
so we get into month 3, and now they're mad that they're paying me all this overtime. And they're like, well, we can't pay you all the overtime. And I said, okay, well, I'm at 40 hours for the week, so bye. They're like, well, it's only Wednesday. I said, I don't give a shit what day it is. You're not going to pay me. They said, well, we need you. I'm like, okay, then you're going to pay me. Like, what part of this do you not seem to understand? Like, are you just trying to get me to work so you don't have to pay me? Is that what you're saying? Because you might as well just come out and say it. And he's like, well, I can't. I said, yeah, because it's fucking incriminating, you dumb shit. And, and this is what I'm saying to my boss because I'm just so over everything. And, and so he's like, well, what makes you think you can talk to me like that? So what makes you think I need to stick around after 40 hours? You ain't gonna pay me for it. Because right now you're wasting my time. I'm off the clock. I'm not going to be here anymore. So see you Monday. Bye. So, so I left. And then come Monday morning, rinse and repeat the same shit for the next couple of weeks. Well, I pulled it again. And then that Friday morning, they called me in to their office. My bosses did. And this is where I quit. So I was just at my end with these assholes. So my boss, one of them calls me into the office. And I just got my other two there. So all three of them are sitting there. And
God.
so one of them starts talking about, well, we can't really protect you anymore. And I said, from fucking who? And all right, so a little background. I was raised in New York. Like, I was born in San Antonio, lived there until I was 9, lived in New York till I was 16, moved back down. joined the Marine Corps out of Texas. So my accent, my northern accent comes out every once in a while. Just so you know. Anyway, so so he said we can't protect you anymore. And I said, from fucking who? Like, who the fuck do I need protection from? Right? And he said, well, we just can't protect you. And I said, okay, or are you saying that you need protection? You can't protect you. And they said, well, who do we need protection from? I said, fucking me. And and so they're like, well, we just don't see you as a good fit for the company anymore. I said, all right, assholes, listen up. Either you write me up or you suck my dick. You do one of the two. All right. And so
Oh.
because they haven't even written me up at all either. And they said, well, you're just not, conforming to the company. And I said, well, because your company is shit. That's why. And so I had already interviewed for a different job, which I already got. I was just waiting for a start date. And so this is why I was able to just be this massive dickhead. So,
Oh my god.
um, so they said, well, we needed you to work, but you refused to. And I said, yeah, but you didn't write me up for it. What you did was you refused to pay me for my overtime. You wanted me to put the time in, but you didn't want to pay for it. So that's called, wage theft, which, by the way, it's a federal offense. And all I got to do is just, start writing to the Texas Workforce Board or Workforce
Commission.
Commission. Yeah, and I could just go get a lawyer and sue the shit out of y'all. And they said, well, we could just go get our company lawyer and fight it. I said, or I could break all three of your fucking legs and set this goddamn building on fire and watch you try to drag your own burnt fucking carcass out. And and they just kind of sat there. And I said, yeah, fuck with me. Fuck with me, and I'll kill all of you and your fucking family.
Shut
And
up, dude.
yeah.
Oh my god.
so,
Oh.
and so that's when one of the bosses was like, all right, you know what? I've heard enough. You threatened me. I was like, you shut your fucking ass. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck this job. Fuck all three of you. You're nothing but a bunch of pieces of shit. You don't know how to run a fucking company on somebody else's dime. Suck my fucking dick. Fuck you. And I slammed the company phone down. It was an iPhone, and it hit the desk, and it bounced up into my boss's chest, and he did like this fumble thing, which was funnier than shit to me. And I started laughing at him, which he didn't like, and he started like getting really mad. And I'm like, yeah, fucking do something. Come on, fucking swing, bitch. And
Oh my god. I'm so glad I'm not beeping
so
this out.
do I?
So glad I'm not gonna put like beeps and shit on this. Yeah, no, we're good. So much for
So
monetizing on YouTube. That's just not gonna happen.
yeah, not with this guy.
No,
I
no,
tell everybody when they put me on speakerphone, I tell them like, all right, you know what you're getting into. So sorry, that's on you.
no. I knew I was getting into.
Um, yeah. So like so Kara would she would warn me, hey, you're on my car phone. I'm like, well, fucking take me off. So so
God.
anyway,
Uh,
so I threw the phone down, it bounced up, hit him in the chest. I started laughing. He got red, and I'm like, yeah, fucking come on, swing at me, give me a reason to just put your head through the desk. And he was like, no, no, I'm a bigger man than that. I'm like, you're a piece of shit. That's all you are. And I told him, I was like, you'll get your fucking truck back Monday when I'm done cleaning it out. And they said, well, you have to bring it back in less than 24 hours or it's auto theft. And I'm like, all right. So, because I had a company truck and I had all my personal tools in it.
yeah.
I said, all right, yeah, you'll get your truck back tonight. Don't worry about that. And so took the truck home, emptied my tools out, put them back in my toolbox where they all belonged. I kind of took some parts, some stuff that I like that I still have to this day.
Oh my god.
I I had an acetylene and oxygen torch in there for all the welding and stuff. I let the gas out of those. I had a hydraulic and a diesel fuel tank in the back that I used for refueling or, topping off hydraulic fluid. I dumped a lot of sand in that. I I took the air compressor and I just dumped water in it and just so it would get trashed.
Oh no.
Um, and then when I drove it back to the shop, I left it in third gear and it just redlined the entire 30-minute drive
Oh
all the
my.
way there. I was curving this thing. Like, it was an F-550 with a box on the back and a crane. Oh yeah, I also threw the crane controller away at a dumpster. So they had to buy a new one of those. It's about
Hey,
500 bucks.
you're not a disgruntled employee at all. Not at all.
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
So I drove it all the way back like that, and I almost threw the keys into the forest because it's surrounded by a very large wooded area. Um, but I was like, I'm gonna make it better. So so instead of them going out there and just trying to find the keys, I locked the keys in the truck with it. So they had to call a locksmith out to get it. So that was like the ultimate like kind of fuck you.
Oh man.
So needless to say, I never put them as a reference. I don't even put them on my resume. And the kicker to all this shit. So all this kind of spawned because me and the shop mechanic um pretty much almost got in a fight. That dude was like the biggest whiny little cunt bitch I've ever dealt with. And like he walked up to me aggressively one time and I took a step back and I was about to like I used to do Muay Thai and I was about to do a flying knee right
I
to
used to
his
drink
fucking
those.
face. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty good. I studied strawberry Muay Thai. So
They're pretty tasty.
so, so I'm about to fuck this dude up, and he starts running his mouth about how he wanted to fight me. I was like, "Well, let's go right off company property, just go across the street, and I'll fuck you up. I'll call you an ambulance, and we'll go from there." And so we start, so we start walking that way, and then he just diverts, starts walking to the office, and it's like, "Oh, you fucking pussy." I was a little mad about that, but ever since then, my boss has kind of had it out for me. But anyways, so after I quit like that, a year later, I get a call from one of those bosses offering me my job back.
What?
Yeah,
Whoa.
it blew my fucking mind. Like he called me, it was a butt dial because the way I answered, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing calling me?" And, he goes, "Hey, I just want to let you know, man. I don't even want to say his name. X was wrong. You know, he was a big bitch. He lied about a bunch of stuff. He stole a bunch of shit. You know, I know we didn't end on the best of terms, but you know, you were actually the best mechanic we've had, and I just want to offer you your job back." I was like, "Dude, I worked for you guys for 3 months, and the way that I quit, you're still telling me that I was the best mechanic that you ever had? Fucking really?" So, and like by this time, you know, we had already moved up here. I was already working for Holt Caterpillar,
Hmm.
which I love the job, but you know, once my wife ended up getting this the job that she has and she ended up traveling you know, Monday through Thursday, I couldn't really do it anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I told her, yeah, no, yeah, fuck you, dude. Don't ever call me again. I hung up. Like it was the weirdest shit ever. Like the one thing I never would have expected was that.
Oh my
So
god. That is nuts, dude. That's
yeah,
freaking nuts. You know what that
that's my
reminds me
quitting.
of? That
What's
reminds
that?
me of Office Space. When
Oh
they
yeah,
beat the shit out of the printer in the back.
yeah.
So I think we found your theme song.
Well, Damon feels good to be a gangster.
That's pretty brutal, man. I don't think I've ever. Let me see. I've quit a few. Been fired, quit, fired. I've been fired mostly. I've been trying to sustain a damn job ever since I got out. It's been a pain in the ass. People are way
Yeah.
too sensitive. Way too
No,
sensitive.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I filled out a job
See, and
at.
that's
Huh? Go ahead. Go ahead.
no. Well, that's one of the reasons why I loved working in the oil field so much because like we would just yell the most audacious obscenities across the shop. Like there is my buddy Mark, I love the shit out of him. We were talking shit about one of the foremans, and just from the other side of the shop, all you hear is Mark yell out, "Dude, sucks so much dick, he's got a six pack on his throat." And it's like that is
God.
one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I was dying laughing.
Oh my
And
god.
like,
That's
yeah,
that locker room talk that a lot of moms hope that their sons will have.
yeah, right.
Shit.
Oh, and that's the thing is that like, oh, it's locker room talk until it comes out, and then it's, oh, you shouldn't be talking like that. It's like, well, don't go into any shop then.
Yeah.
Like if it's blue collar shop, don't do it because you're just gonna get your feelings hurt. Shut the fuck up. Like right
Yeah.
now, so right now I have a very white collar job. It's like a whitish blue collar job. So yeah, I'm a construction safety officer, and I make sure that everybody's within OSHA compliance.
Right.
And I love this job. Like I get paid to not be liked, essentially, by the contractors. And I've grown such a reputation now that I have contractors just shake their head no every time they see me.
Didn't you
Because like
just
they'll see me
start?
walk in. Yeah.
And you already have this reputation. Fucking
I've only been
Karl.
there for a month. And these contractors see me walk down the hall and they just look and just go, nope. And like I start looking at paperwork, make sure it's all good, stuff like that.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, like, and it's great. Like, I love my job. I love the people I work with. I love the people I work for. Um, like, the only people that I've had a problem with are the contractors that refuse to do the just to follow the regular policies and procedures. Like, those things are set in place for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's the same reason why we have stickers on chainsaws that said don't stop the blade with your dick. Right? Like, there's a reason because somebody did it.
Or a baby
So
falling into a 5-gallon bucket with a little bloop. Because the baby probably
yeah,
fell into a little 5-gallon bucket.
yeah.
So,
Like, get the babies
the
away
stupid
from the
shit.
bucket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
don't bring a baby to the job site. What is wrong with you? Find a fucking sitter or go to daycare like a normal person.
Oh my God. You're not wrong, though. I mean, that's. And you know what? You have like a one up too, because that's like, I don't know about the Marine Corps, but in the Coast Guard, like safety Nazis. It was all safety
Oh, yeah.
Nazis. OSHA this, OSHA that. If you don't have this, you'll get written up. It's just all this safety.
Yeah,
It's crazy. That's why I'm so paranoid about safety. People are like, why don't you calm down? I'm like, why don't you shut the F up? Like,
yeah.
let
Well,
me
and
let me work on that.
yeah. I mean, it was the same thing with the Marine Corps. Like, it was all
Mm.
about safety and I mean, I was responsible for a couple of PowerPoint presentations. Um,
Safety briefs right here. I was
yeah,
responsible
right.
for a few safety briefs.
That's why I'm so good at doing my job now because I know what not to do and doing inventive ways to fuck shit up. So, so one story. I don't know how long we got, but one
We got some
story.
time.
Okay, so recently within this new job, there's two guys, and their whole role was to reinforce the hand sanitizer stations inside of our psych unit. So I do work for a hospital. I'm not going to say which one, but
Okay.
um, so I'm not sure about HIPAA laws and confidentiality agreements and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
totally.
um, so they were responsible for put a wooden backing behind the hand sanitizer stations because they had a patient who I dealt with on my first week. Oh, so that's a cool story. I'll start there. So this patient, so the freeze that we had a couple weeks ago, the first one,
Hmm.
4 o'clock in the morning, we get a red alert for my department. So I work in the safety department. So we get a red alert, it's fire alarm going off. And they tell us the department's like, oh shit, psych ward. So we all take off running. So going to find out, psych patient pulled the fire alarm, grabbed a fire extinguisher, started swinging it like a bat. Well, now because of him, there's no fire extinguishers that are allowed in the patient areas. So one of the police officers come in, tries to pepper spray him. So he discharges the fire extinguisher and turns it into a pepper cloud and just covers the entire ward. It was
Oh,
fucking awesome. I was just like, God,
that's
like
genius.
that fucking kudos, man. So that was cool as shit. So that's when me and my boss run in there. They got the dude tackled and everything. And I'm like, I'm used to pepper spray. My boss wasn't. So he's like coughing and hacking. He's like, hey, we gotta get a head count. Yeah. I'm like, all right, everybody, come on, let's go. What's the head count? 26. All right, come on. So so we get a head count and all that stuff. Well, so we transfer that patient to a different ward. And now he's ripping the hand sanitizer stations off the wall and hitting other patients with them. Like there's some plastic
Yeah.
alcohol swab boxing
Oh
gloves,
my
right?
gosh.
Yeah. So these two guys, these two contractors, they're responsible for putting the wood backings on them. So that way, you can't just rip them off the wall and take sheetrock with it. So I go to check up on them, make sure they're doing everything safe. and they're working in the patient area, and they're sitting in a room by themselves watching plaster dry on the wall, and they left a bag of tools and an extension cord just lying out in the patient area.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh
and I'm like,
no, no,
so I
no.
knocked on the window to the room, and they looked at me, and I go, "Come here, come here, come, get the fuck out here now." So, and so I asked them, "Is that your tool bag?" And they said, "Yes." I said, "Okay, what you did was you just left a bag of weapons on the ground, unsupervised, around a bunch of mental patients."
Hmm.
And they said, "Oh, well, oh, we didn't realize that." I said, "Yeah, I know. So pick it up and keep it with you." And I said, plus, same thing with the extension cord. Like some of these patients are suicidal.
Yeah.
They'll take that into their room and hang themselves. Do you understand that? And he said, "Oh, I didn't realize that." I said, "Yeah. If you really want to get inventive, they could take like one of your larger power tools, like a drill, tie it to the end of the extension cord, start swinging around like that go-go girl on fucking Kill Bill." And so, and he was like, "Really?" I said, "Dude, like, I don't know, be a little inventive. Just know, like, you will get your shit wrecked by a behavioral health patient.
Hmm.
You have to have this shit secured." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't even think of that." And I said, "Yeah, I know. Like,
Yeah.
just get the shit and fucking move it, man." And so that kind of stuff that I'm constantly dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So
It's like a bunch of
yeah,
newbies
so I
at
have
basic.
pretty much. Well, this dude that I was talking to, his birth year is 2002.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Dude,
no, I'm dead serious.
I enlisted in 2003.
Yeah,
I just aged
yeah,
myself. Jesus.
yeah. No, I was 03 also. We're old. All the joints popping and it sucks.
Yeah, it does. I'm shrinking by the minute with this degenerative disc disease. Fucking sucks.
Shit. I got hypertension like a motherfucker. My pills ain't working, so I got to go back to the VA. Dude, even on hypertension pills, my blood pressure was still 175 over 110.
Is that hereditary or are you just really you're jacked up?
I I think I'm really just that wound tight.
Hey, I have sleep gummies if you're interested, or calm gummies if you're interested.
I
I take them, dude.
might take shit. I might take you up on that. So I have melatonin that helps me sleep, and I call it my grown man night night gummies. Uh,
Hey, well, when we get off of this, stay on, and I will send you some gummies. Give me your
okay.
address, and I'll
Oh
mail you
yeah.
some Charlotte's Web. Plug in for Charlotte's Web because they're amazing. They're sleep gummies, so
Okay.
it's like CBD and melatonin and all that good stuff. But their calm gummies are pretty awesome.
Okay.
Damn, dude. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. Your story about quitting, I gotta give
Yeah.
it to you. That's probably the best one I've ever heard. Easy,
If
like
you,
hands down.
yeah, I've got all sorts of dumbass stories, stupid shit that I did, stupid shit I've experienced, family members with psychological issues that started international incidents.
What?
So
No,
that's
no,
a
no.
good one.
I don't know if we want to talk about that. Is it still an ongoing investigation, or they?
Oh no, no, this happened a while ago. Uh,
Okay.
my aunt that caused it, she passed away. So I think it's pretty shut. But yeah, FBI, CIA, and NSA all got involved. Do you want to hear it? That's fucking
We
hilarious.
might as well, dude. We might as
All
well.
right.
Shit.
So I have an aunt who was diagnosed paranoid delusional schizophrenia.
Oh.
So she always believed so she has this unknown skin disease caused by U.S. government biological warfare testing on her hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Um, so she also developed her own religion, and she seceded from the Union, dubbed her house New Jerusalem, and that's where Jesus is coming back. So she writes a letter of secession to Congress, and some intern read it and was like, "Okay, what's going on? Like, we're having somebody secede from the Union. What the fuck is this?" And they're calling themselves New Jerusalem. So he starts getting people involved in Congress and around Capitol Hill and all the agencies and shit, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. She had mailed the deed to her house to some random person in Israel, and she forgot who she mailed it to. So
Wow.
Yeah. So
Whoa.
FBI, NSA, CIA, they all get involved. Massive investigation. They couldn't figure out who the hell she mailed this to. Um, and what they ended up doing was just condemning the house and kicking her out.
Because that.
And so she ended up, yeah, so she ended up spending the last couple of her years just living out of hotel rooms. So, yeah.
Yo, what other kind of crazy ass shit are you hanging on to? Oh my gosh.
All sorts of stuff. If you ever need content, just give me a topic. I'm pretty sure I did
Might
something.
have to give you a topic. All right,
Although
real quick. Huh?
all right. I realize how like one-upsmanship that sounds too. Like, I swear to God, I'm
I mean,
not
you're a
making this
Marine. I mean, you got to be good at something.
shit, right?
All right, I'm gonna
Now
ask
it's
you
just me.
one. How about I just ask you an off the wall question and let's see what kind of random shit you come up with
Okay.
that actually happened.
Okay.
The weirdest shit you've seen on deployment.
Oh God. All right. So when I was deployed on the USS Baton,
Oh God.
I, I walk up to the berthing. I walk up to the berthing and go take a shit. And this is night crew. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning. There was two Marines in there, literally sword fighting with boners.
What?
Yeah.
Like just
Uh,
playing around, or were they like hooking up? They were playing around.
no, they were playing around. They were literally dicking around.
Oh my
That
God.
was that was the weirdest shit.
Wait, did
I
you say
walked.
Navy?
No, these are Marines,
Oh my God.
and we were deployed on the USS Baton.
Oh well, the Navy would have been
This
doing
was
something different. Never mind.
nah, I didn't. Yeah, they would have just. I mean, they would have just been having gay sex like usual. These guys were just laughing their little retarded asses off, smacking each other's boners with each other.
Well, that's
That
cool.
was yeah. I went and found somewhere else to take a shit. I didn't want to interrupt their playtime. So, and one of the other funny things
Oh my
is
God.
so some dude was jerking. This is a completely separate time. Some dude was jerking off in the stall next to me, and you kind of hear that going. Well, then I
Oh
look down
my God.
and I hear that, oh, and then I see his toes just curl.
No. Oh man. I'm so sorry. I've never had this kind of content on this podcast, and
This is the
thanks.
first and last time that Carl's going to be on
That
here.
probably. Well, definitely not for little ears, so we're not going to be. This is definitely explicit. Holy
Yeah,
crap! But you're not wrong. Like some of the stuff that happens, it's like,
yeah, like you see all
man.
sorts of really dumb stuff, especially when Marines get bored. When Marines get bored, we do some really dumb
I'm
shit.
really glad you
Like
just
I
said
was,
names.
so like I went on to King Fossil Air Base in Jordan doing the security forces thing. Within the first hour of being on base, we had wrecked two of their Mitsubishi SUVs and set a generator on fire. Like that's in the first hour. So it's like, sorry, I guess. I don't know. Like,
Oh my god.
yeah.
Well, I mean, shit. Let me ask you this. I can almost guess when you were on deployment on that ship. And if I'm right, tell me
Okay.
I'm right.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm trying to put two and two together. Was that in 2005, 2006?
It's 2007.
Ooh,
You were close. It's the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit.
okay.
The 26th. I don't know. I got to go look at my bottle of wine I got
But
for
it
the
was right in that
deployment.
little time frame?
Yeah, it was January 2007 to
Dude,
July
it might
or
as well be
August.
2006. January
No, it
2007.
was January 2007 to August. It was the majority of 2007.
So there's a reason why I just said that. You remember the movie
Okay.
Waiting?
Waiting. Yeah.
Ryan
Yeah, I remember
Reynolds?
that. Yeah.
Remember the goat, Batwing, all that?
Oh yeah.
Remember all that?
Yeah.
That movie came out right around then. And let me tell
Oh
you,
yeah. So yeah.
the
Yeah,
guys on
everybody was doing that, weren't
the
they?
guys on our ship, they were doing all that stupid shit around that time. That's the
Yeah.
only reason I'm putting it together, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got some ideas off of that.
our thing was Dick in a Box had just came out
Yes,
on Saturday Night
yes,
Live.
I remember that. I
Yeah, that
remember
came out
watching.
that Christmas right before we deployed. So that was like the funniest shit to everybody until like March. So
See, and I was in the engineering department because I was a machinery technician,
uh,
and I guess I wasn't on the ship when they went out one time. So it was all the guys, and one of our guys got on the machine shop table and like faced his back to the CCTV where everybody could see him,
uh-huh.
and he pulled his trousers down and he gave the TV the goat. So he flashed his
Nice.
sack and everything to everybody that's watching. I guess senior chief walked in and like looked and was like, "I guess whatever keeps morale up." I'm
Wow.
like, "Wow, dude! I'm so glad I was not there for that."
No, hell
I mean,
no.
you can't do that nowadays. You get kicked out so fast.
Yeah.
But
So my neighbor Josh just drove by. He was an Air Force combat controller and he's Dallas PD.
oh, even better.
He would be a good one to have on your podcast.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. Him and I
Yeah.
just talked gratuitous amounts of shit. Same thing with my buddy Brad. He was Marines also. He served during Desert Storm,
Okay.
and he's got some really good stories. He fucking cracks me up. He's like me, but in 20 years. So like real rough, just like
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Gulf War vets are. Yeah. I
yeah.
get that, but damn, dude. Well, I feel like I've had virgin ears my entire life after listening to you. That shit was
Yeah, you're
nuts.
welcome. I'm glad I popped your irritaries.
You're, dang, I feel like I need to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, so I got the cigar. Just keep me going. Yeah, hypertension.
Oh my god. Well, I mean, the whole point was just to share these stories and just that was wild. That was pretty wild. And
Yeah,
if I for some
finish.
reason have a dream of anything that we talked about tonight, I'm gonna kill you.
Hey,
'Cause-
no, just call me. Just call me. We'll talk about it on your podcast again. Gotta have content, man. Just keep it coming.
I know. And Kara, God bless her. She's got to put up with you,
Yeah, kind of.
sorta.
Nah, she ain't got to put up with me. So I live too far away from her for her to have to put up with me. But all right,
Yeah.
she get her ass on the show too.
She's
We'll do it.
she's been on.
Both of us. Yeah, I know she's been on, but I'm saying like
Like
her and
together?
I.
Oh man.
Yeah,
We'll need to
I
figure
think
it
it'd be
out.
hilarious.
I think it'd be funny. Hell, I mean, why not? We'll bring more people back. I've had her on twice. I'll bring her on again. She's fun.
There you go.
She's a lot of fun.
Hey, she actually does stuff in the veteran community. I just donate guns and flamethrowers. So what do I know?
Yeah. Did you have a flamethrower, right? Did I see
Yeah.
that?
In fact, I had two. The second one I donated. I have a buddy of mine. He's got a nonprofit. You mind if I plug it?
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
okay.
Totally.
The nonprofit's called Evoke Changes.
Okay.
My buddy Sean and his wife Danielle, they're doing amazing shit with veterans where um, they do a lot of outdoors stuff like to battle depression, like to get
Nice.
outside and go hike and go hunt. So January last year, I was involved with something that they did called the Blasting Cast, which it was all free. All you had to do was show up, and they give you lodging for the weekend and the shotgun shells. Oh yeah, you got to bring your own shotgun too and a hunting license, but hunting and fishing. But we would shoot ducks in the morning, and then we'd go saltwater fishing down at the Gulf Coast afterwards. And so they're doing some really awesome stuff. He's a licensed counselor. He's a licensed therapist in Montana and in Texas, and he's working on it for Alaska as well to help to do hunts and trips and stuff like that up there. So
Oh wow.
he works with a lot of veterans and first responders and stuff like that. So they're doing really, really amazing stuff. Like I love them to death, and I ended up donating one of my flamethrowers to them for like just to help you know get resources and money and stuff like that. It was auctioned off, and it was somebody here in Texas that won it, I think. And so I don't know if he mailed or if he set anything on fire with it yet.
Well,
And get video.
I was gonna ask you. You melted the
Um,
snow and the ice. with your flamethrower
Oh
a
yeah,
few weeks
yeah.
ago.
No, my flamethrower helped out great with that. So I've had mine for about a year now, and I'm gonna get the backpack attachment for it.
Oh no.
So it'll shoot a flame for a continuous 3.5 minutes. So
Oh my god. I'm gonna
yeah.
before you know it, I'm gonna see you on like Fox News or some shit.
Oh, I want to be the reason there's a new flamethrower law. Like, because right now they're just legal in Texas. Like, I want to be the one where they're like, all right, this is the Carl Amerson law, where you now have to pass a background check for a fucking flamethrower like you would a firearm.
Oh my god. If you want to make that happen, let's collaborate. I'm sure we can figure some shit out.
I'm just waiting for somebody to roll up on me in my garage and I just start setting them on fire. Like, that's all. That's the odds of it happening are like so minute. But
Oh my god. We got to get Don Graves to you know Don Graves, right? Old Don?
yeah, I know Don. Yeah.
We
In
got
fact,
to
the second flamethrower, I was trying to get him and Woody Williams to sign on it,
Oh, that would have
and
been
then I was
amazing.
going to sear coat clear over it so it would always be there. Unless you sandblasted it, then if you did that, you're just a dick. So yeah, I was going to get him and Woody Williams to sign off on it, to like put their autograph on it and sear coat clear over it,
Yeah.
and then I was going to auction it off, but it was for a different nonprofit. Um, I'm not going to name them. They have since got their 501c3 revoked. Um,
Oh wow.
I think you know who it is.
I have no idea. Well, we'll talk after this cuz I
Yeah, we'll talk after.
probably have no idea what you're talking about. Um
Okay.
I really don't. What was
All
I
right.
gonna say? Yeah, no, we gotta get those because Woody's still alive, and I know Don is.
Yeah.
For those
Yeah.
that are listening, Don Graves and Woody, they were both in the Battle of Iwo Jima. There was Woody a flamethrower as well.
Yeah.
All right, so because I
Yeah.
know
Woody
Don
Williams
was.
is a flamethrower, and so is Dawn.
Well, I know Don. Don was like 18 years old, not even 100 pounds, with a
Yeah.
flamethrower. Battle of Iwo Jima. So, for those that don't know the battle, I'm sorry, but if you know the famous statue of Marines lifting up the flag that's all over the U.S., that's the battle, and they were there,
Suribachi.
Mount Suribachi, and they were there. They were just off to the side in that picture. But I remember when.
Dawn was. Woody wasn't up there at that time.
Oh, he wasn't.
No, he was
See, I don't know
down
his story.
fighting. Yeah, Woody was down fighting. Don was up there, but he was off to the side.
Okay. Well, yeah, no, Don was there for sure, and he said when
Yeah.
they landed on the beach, the first half hour he was just crying. He was so scared.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I would.
Oh yeah.
So
I'll tell you, but those two men, like holy shit, like just their balls of steel that they had to drag around Iwo Jima with them. Like
mm,
just yeah, because I always love hanging out with Don. I saw him at Roll Call last month, or no, in January. Yeah, in January I went to Roll Call and I saw him there. I was like, Don, I ain't seen you in a while. And he goes, yeah, I've been here. You haven't. I was like,
you're
all
like,
right, way to
you're
talk
not,
to me like that, old man.
you're not wrong. Sorry.
So it just shows that he's also still, he's still got his wits about him too, because he remembered me.
Oh
So
yeah,
even though he's 98,
Don,
99, yeah,
he's up
something
there.
like that.
He
Yeah.
he's definitely up there, but he's still he's sprung like a little spring chicken. He still pops
Oh yeah,
tall
he's
so
still sharp.
fast.
Yeah.
He loves women. He still loves the women. Little
Yep.
dirty old man.
And he's got a free pass. He can do whatever he wants. If Don Graves wants to light a joint of PCP in my living room, I'll get him an ashtray. Straight up.
I would too.
I'll find you PCP, and then I'll get him an ashtray.
My God, dude. Well, I gotta tell you, I think we're about ready to wrap it up. It's been fun. Uh, dude, my cheeks are hurting from laughing and smiling so much. But don't get off. I'm gonna sign off for the listeners, and we'll talk about what we were about to talk about. So,
Okay.
thanks for coming on. I appreciate you and all your amazing stories and your time tonight. I really do.
It was my pleasure.
Sweet. Well, I appreciate it. Well, hey guys, there you go. Shenanigans with Karl. Matter of fact, I think that's what the podcast is going to be called because I can't
Yeah.
think of a really good title for this other than the hot mess shenanigans. So. When this comes out, it's gonna be rated like whatever the
It's gonna
hell.
be rated like double R. Like it can't be X because I didn't get naked, so
Yeah.
not yet.
Thank God. Not yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why. Well, that's why I didn't have the whiskey. So.
God.
Mhm.
Anyhow, oh my God, never mind. Never mind. Y'all didn't see that. Sorry, listeners. I'm not even going to entertain that. Oh, we may have to get off
Yeah,
now.
nobody wants. They will pay me to not see that. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like the reverse OnlyFans.
Oh
So
my God. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. But hey, guys, if you enjoyed this podcast, stay tuned for more. We got more stories coming, some fun stuff. We like these little fun episodes for icebreakers, and we like just talking about real stuff. So stick with us, subscribe, do all that stuff, hit the bell notification and all that logistics stuff to help us out to get more views and more people following. So we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Peace out.